Hi, so this week I've picked myself up a faulty Nintendo Switch Joycon. So this was £5 bought locally. It came in bits. It's missing a couple of bits as well, but luckily I've got a lot of spares. So we'll have a little look at it under the microscope and see what the issue is. So as you can see, the main issue there is we're missing the connector which connects the battery. So I'm assuming this may be the only fault, there may be more. So what we'll have to do is fit a new connector to it. So we had a little bit of flux, and then I get my soldering iron in just to apply a bit of fresh solder to the legs so that we can get it all prepped to solder to. Then a quick clean with isopropyl alcohol. And then I decide that it's probably best that I'm going to have to heat from below. So I take the motherboard out of the housing, and then I'm just going to line up the new connector, which was bought from AliExpress, which probably cost less than £1. But then I realised there's a little bit on the back that probably needs a bit of protection, so this button, if I'm heating from the back, I don't want to melt it. So we just need to get some Kapton tape, and then I'm just going to wrap the Kapton tape across the buttons. I'm going to put 2 layers on to give it extra protection, and I'm going to use a thin nozzle directed right underneath to try and keep the heat from going too far over to do any damage. So we just get into position, just apply a little bit of flux again, and then we'll place the connection in place, get it lined up as best as possible, and then as I said, so we heat directly underneath. Try to make sure you're not moving it too much, you want the heat directed just exactly where this connection is. And then we just give it a little nudge if you think it needs it, just to make sure it's lined up. The solder shouldn't take long to melt. And then when you're happy, just move the heat away and then let it cool down for a couple of minutes. So once cool, we can have a look under the microscope and have a quick check, and we can check that the 2 pins are connected as they should be. We'll flip it over, and as you can see, I don't use the best of Kapton tape at the moment. It really shouldn't be melting like it does, so I definitely need to change this in the future. And now just start putting back together as minimal as possible. So put the battery in and I attach a side rail, and then we're just going to connect it to the switch just to check that there's no other issues with it. So we just need to carefully slide it in without damaging or ripping any of the ribbon cables. So we get a connection and we get a charge symbol. So the battery connector is definitely fixed and it connects well. So I'm just going to use my iFixit toolkit to put it back together. Comes with a good mix of tri-wing and crosshead screwdrivers. And then that's it, we're all put back. So we just slide it in, put all the screws back in, put it all back together. I'm just going to give it a quick test. Make sure all the buttons are working as they should be. They all are. And then we'll just go to the analog stick to make sure that there's no stick drift. And we do a little bit of left and right, and as you can see, there's no stick drift in that either. And a quick check to make sure that these side buttons work, because this ribbon cable can also break sometimes, but the lights up, so that works fine. And that's it, done. A nice £5 Joy-Con. Obviously you need a few extra parts to put it back together, but it's all done, it's all working. Thanks very much for watching. Please like, comment and subscribe.